You should establish a repertoire with your students. At the beginning of each class, you should greet them, introduce yourself, and ask the students if they are happy and how they are doing on that day. This will help you establish a closer relationship with your students. Also, do not end such lessons abruptly. Always sing a song or give words of encouragement to end each class. You should practice good time management skills by pacing your class accordingly. The time spent on each slide should depend on the student's comprehension of its content, but in all, you should strive to cover all the slides designated for each lesson. Every class lasts about 25 minutes. You are to conduct the class accordingly to your students' understanding and expressive ability, but do not skip or end the class before you're finished teaching all the content. During each class, teachers need to encourage their students to be well behaved. We suggest that during every class you should award 5 trophies to students who behave well. The trophy button can be found in our portal. If a student misbehaves or interrupts the progress of the class, the teacher should reprimand the child positively. Naturally, teaching styles vary with children in different levels. A teacher teaching at a lower level will be required to speak for about 40 to 60% of the time, correcting and repeating words and sentences of the children, whereas a teacher teaching at a higher level will be required to speak maybe only 30% of the time. This allows the students to talk for the rest of the time and be able to make longer sentences. As a teacher, you will need to adjust your teaching style to fit the type of students you have. For example, if you are teaching very young and shy children who have little or no knowledge of English, you need to speak loudly and clearly. Make the class interesting so that they will not feel nervous. Singing songs together and giving them words of encouragement will help them to overcome and get them out of their shells. While for students who are already very active in class, you will not need to go to such lengths. For students that do not behave well in class, you will need to be a bit strict with them. Give them some orders and make them follow your rhythm. You need to be patient when teaching children, especially children at low levels. When you ask a question, you may need to repeat the question slowly a few times for the children to understand and think of the answer. But please note that you shouldn't let the children be silent for too long and think. Instead, you can give a few words of encouragement and make use of the time appropriately. Also, use your body language to give the children something to think about. With this type of strategy, the parents would not think the class is boring. After they answer your questions, you should correct the pronunciations and repeat the words or sentences a couple of times so that they can learn better. Also, don't forget to encourage the students on their performance. When trying to explain things within or outside of the class content, you should use words, sentences, and phrases that the children understand. Also, when asking them questions, you should ask in a way that they can understand the answer. Don't ask them if you don't prepare the questions beforehand. If there is still some time left after completing the contents of the class, or if you notice that the content of the class is too simple for the student, you can expand more on the topic. Just ensure that the children are able to grasp all of what you are saying. After the class, we need you to provide feedback to the parents. Feedback is sent to each parent through our platform. This allows the parents to know how their children are performing in class. Closing the distance between the parents and your students impresses the parents. This puts you in a better light, making it easier for you to get more students.